Hold on, I'm gonna zoom that beat in. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope you all are well. If you haven't drinking water today, or just drink some water right now. If you haven't been outside yet, go pop outside, take a breath of fresh air, come back in, watch this video. Today we're gonna be learning how to play Astrid by Glaive and From the Heart. Astrid was like one of my favorite songs when it first came out. So yeah, shout out From the Heart and Glaive for making an incredible piece of music. And to whoever wrote the guitar part, how? It is so fast. It is so, the fingers. Also, key note here is it's two parts. So there's a finger picking pattern and then there's a lead line. And I'll show you both of them. The lead line is probably the thing you hear the most, and it comes back during the hook, an octave up. But the lead line in the intro goes as follows. And then for the hook, I think they just pitched it up an octave, or you can play it up an octave, whatever you want. The way that one works is you start off, you do your third finger, your ring finger on the 10th fret B string, and you play that twice. And then you go down to your middle finger, gonna be on the 9th fret B string, and you play that twice. From the B string, you're gonna roll your middle finger up to the G string, so the G string 9th fret, and you're gonna play that twice again. So right now what we have is, and then you go. So what that is your first finger hitting the G string 7th fret, sliding down to the G string 6th fret, and then your ring finger coming back and slapping that 9th fret D string, and then going down to the 7th fret D string with your first finger. So that's, so all together that first part is, and then the next part is the same beginning, so the same. But then after that, instead of rolling down, you go from that middle finger roll into the G string 7th fret, you play that twice, and then you go first finger 7th fret, third finger 9th fret, first finger 7th fret, and then you slide your first finger down to the 6th fret. This is all in the G string, so. For the last part, a little bit of shenanigans occur. Again, it's the same start. And similar ending to what you did on the first one, so it goes. But then instead of starting back up again, it does a different thing. Okay, so my explanation of this last section of the lead part was so bad that I have just opted to remove the entire thing and play what I just played in slow-mo instead, because I think that'll be more helpful for y'all. Okay, good luck. I hope you do it. And that's the lead part. So now we're gonna do the finger picking. So the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna learn the first shape, and then we're gonna learn the finger picking pattern, and then we'll learn the next shapes, because the finger picking pattern is basically the same throughout. It's a similar energy. It does this a bunch. Gross. This is what the finger picking pattern sounds like. And I think it's actually quite a bit faster than that, but that's the speed we're gonna start with today. The first shape is first finger 5th fret A string. You're just gonna plop that bad boy right there. Third finger 7th fret D string. Plop that thing right where you want it to be. Middle finger G string 6th fret. Yup. And then your pinky goes on the E string 7th fret. Ooh, that's a nice chord. All right, now let's go over to the other hand. Scooch. Ooh. Shout out Brett and Jermaine. With that shape being held, basically the feeling is that your thumb rolls down the first two strings, and by the first two strings I mean the A string, the D string, and then your first finger up here plucks the E string. So together that sounds like in that rhythm. I don't know what that rhythm is called. This is kind of where it started getting weird for me when I was learning it. Both your thumb and your first finger come together and pluck the D string at the G string at the same time. So it goes. I'm sure people who are better at finger picking could just do like different fingers and then it would be like easier to execute. But for now, this is what we have. Next thing that happens is your thumb goes back to the A string and plucks it. And then your first finger plucks the E string again. And then it goes to the G string again. So that sounds like... Nice. A little bit faster. You're getting it! This finger picking pattern is very similar throughout. Now we're gonna go back to the rest of the shapes and talk about how it changes when we get there. So now we have our first shape. And then the next shape, you bring your middle finger to the 9th fret A string, your first finger to the 7th fret D string, your third finger to the 9th fret G string, and your pinky slides up to 9th fret E string. And the same picking pattern applies here. Alright, so let's work on this transition real slow. Epic style. The next shape is where the finger picking pattern changes a little bit. You bring your first finger down to the D string 7th fret, and you bring your third finger over to the G string 9th fret, and you bar with your third finger, you bar the B string 9th fret as well. Now let's look at how the finger picking changes. It's the same rhythm, so the hard part is done, but instead of rolling down between the A and the D, it just stays on the D the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And your first finger just goes between D and the G string. What that looks like slowly is... And then the last shape in the form is... So what happens here is your first finger is barring the A string 7th fret and the D string 7th fret, and your third finger is barring the B string 9th fret and the E string 9th fret. And the little cheeky thing that happens at the end of the form is that you add a little hammer on with your little pinky, it pops back up. So it goes... So the finger picking doesn't change much, but let's just have a closer look. It's similar to the first pattern in which you're rolling your thumb down the A string and the D string, and you're plucking the E string. But the thing that changes is that you're plucking the B string instead of the G string. And it doesn't have to do anything when you add the hammer on. It's just the same thing, but you just do the little with your other finger. Okay, now we're gonna zoom out a little bit so that way you guys can watch both hands kind of working here. Let's just see if we can do it at 170 right now. Oh, Jesus. God damn, that is so fast. Okay, here we go, y'all. Jesus. Sorta? Was that it? God damn, bro, 170 is so fast. All right, that was hard, but good job. If you got this far, I encourage you guys, if you want to just get it under your fingers, get a metronome app. My favorite one is Pulse. It's just like a little circle. You click the button, it goes. Start it real slow and just work your way up until you get to 170. I think the BPM is 169 or 170. I have it like 1 in 10 times I can get it at 170. It's hard. I still have the remake file. If you guys are interested in seeing like a full Astrid remake, let me know. I might put some time into it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something. Thanks for listening as well. The response to Dreams and Spite specifically has been lovely, so a lot of work went into that, so I appreciate y'all. And yeah, that's it. I'm Bryce, and thank you for being part of my life. Phew.